God. A real gangsta ass nigga plays his cards right. A real gangsta ass nigga never runs
Oh, we're live. We're live. I missed it. I was jamming, reading the comments. Shout out to Tandi.
Oh, I didn't know we said more stuff. See, now I got
flex nuts. Real gangsta ass niggas know they got it.
I'm gonna find something.
Cool in the mind of a gangster, 'cause gangsta ass niggas think deep.
I was looking up stuff. I was trying to make sure I had the right baby clip. But his story keeps growing. When I Googled it, it was like 8 more things he's done.
Well, while he does that, I just want to tell everybody you're tuned into the Cant Tell Us Nothing show right now. Cant Tell Us Nothing is an improv group out of Houston, Texas, H-Town, as some people might call it, Space City, as some others might call it. Cant Tell Us Nothing comprised of 4 amazing, wonderful, terrific individuals: John, Amechi, myself, Antoine, and Tandi, who could not be here today. Not Calan. Not Calan. Calan's someone else. We'll get to him in just a second. Tandi on the road right now. But Calan is a Houston improviser who we've known for a long time. I performed with many times. Hilarious guy. One of my favorite performers.
Aww.
And he's joining us today to hang out with us for a while.
Hey, guys. Yeah,
Hey.
You're all my favorite improvisers.
What up, y'all?
What's up?
Shout out to 2H Club.
Yeah, good times.
But yeah, man, how long have you been, just to give people a little background, how long have you been doing improv, man?
All 9 years, coming up on 10. I guess that's how the number 9 works. Yeah, let's just go with 9 years. Yeah.
9 just after 8, but just before 10. Why do you do it? Is that a weird question just hit you with right there?
Oh, no, that's easy. That's an easy question because you don't do it for that long without like a reason. I do it because it hits me in a way that like nothing in my life has ever like hit me. Like I kind of like, I didn't discover it till my late 20s. And I was just like, I just thought I was like a guy who just like didn't like stuff. Like I was just like, I was just kind of like, whatever, everything's lame, the world sucks. And then I like did it improv just because I was doing like a bunch of like Groupons. Like the week before I did like Krav Maga, and then I was going to do like trapeze or something. I don't know. But like improv was like on this, like, I gotta like figure out stuff kind of kick I was doing in my late 20s. And then I did it. And then just immediately I was like, oh, this is, I love this. I love everything about this. And then it turned into the thing I love to do. I love to teach it because then now I get to like see other people like go through that. So now I teach it because I love, I can like a vampire, I can like live vicariously and suck that ability to find something new that you love out of all of my students.
It's interesting. One would think that the type of person who would be attracted to improv is not the same type of person who'd be like, the world sucks, everything sucks. But I feel like I've seen those people try improv and enjoy it. Oddly enough, you would think it'd be a bunch of like goofy camp counselor like people, but these guys and girls seem to like it for some reason, man. So awesome.
Yeah, it's great. It's that thing where it like lets you connect to, I don't know, some like inner child, and there's just nothing else really in our society that lets us just say like, oh, okay, for whatever, I'm okay for an hour to just be a child again and just like play around. And I don't know, there's just something cool that I feel like, I get to do this. It's like I found a little secret that no one else knows, and I don't know, it's fun for me.
Well, the way the show works is we'll hang out, we'll chat, we'll talk about what's going on with you, what's going on with us, and if anything inspires a scene, we'll hop into it, and welcome to join us. Do a little improv right here. But before we went live, you were chatting about one of your other hobbies.
My hobby, my junk food addiction. Yeah, I was. I'm guessing you're talking about like me reading comments. I have a bad comment addiction where I actively go to comment sections where I know I'm going to find people saying shit that pisses me off, and I have this need to just get in there and just yell at people, and it was something that kind of started in earnest when I was like early days of the pandemic, when I had like no human contact, and like my only way to like feel like I made a difference in the world was to like yell at someone who at the time was anti-mask, who is now like morphed into the anti-vaxxer. But yeah, it's not something that I'm happy that I do.
Do you think that you've actually changed anybody's mind?
No, no, I don't do it to change minds. I do it because I can't stand to see like a comment section just filled with just horrible, hateful things. Mm-hmm. So it's like if one person can like see a contrary opinion and feel like they're not alone, then like maybe it's worth it. That's what I like tell myself. That's my justification. I try to like have it pass the spell test of you know, is there like something redeemable about you yelling at someone?
You do it for the kid out there who has a contrary opinion and doesn't know what to do with it. They see your comment and they get inspired. Calan can do it.
That's the nice version of the story, but then the other side of that is I just do it because I just need that endorphin hit. I need to look at my little Facebook pings to see like who agrees with me and who doesn't. Yeah, it's like junk food. It's like I have this craving that I can only get satisfied by like going in and looking at people who I know are just going to make me angry.
It's kind of like a form of intellectual masturbation.
100%. Oh, it's totally self-serving. That's a very good way to put it, for sure.
Yeah. You know, some people, I can understand it. Like I have to talk myself out of at least once a day commenting on a post that I know by design was pushed out there to get somebody to respond emotionally to it, right? Like even when I posted the 2 posts I did, I was aware somebody would respond emotionally. I had no idea the level of, you know, the diversity of like the emotions that would come with it. But I tried my best to like at least read all of the same comments and like or love or you know, show some love, right? Like even if it was something I didn't agree with, but they had some solid, well thought, careful arguments, right? I'm not here to like go back and forth. I'll just go, man, thanks for sharing your opinion, right? Or thanks for sharing your thoughts. And not feed into it just because I'm like, I know what people are baiting each other to kind of do, right? It's, you know, there's conflict, and you do get that like rush from like the conflict of this person is, you know, there's no real, I guess, physical damage from this conflict. So, you know, I could really just get that aggression out, man. It's insane, man.
Yeah, it really is about the endorphin rush. It's just
It's crazy, man.
You say there's no like physical damage, but have you ever like been in like an online argument with somebody and then seen them in person like later?
Family members, yeah. Awkwardly, you know, but it's usually, you know, it's I don't know. I usually just avoid. In the few instances where I've had to like see someone in person afterwards, it's just been that like diverted eye contact on both parties. Like we did something that is like you know, it didn't happen on this plane, so we don't talk about it on this plane. But I'm sure that if I was to make another post, they would have get right back on and like and be right back at it. It's like that video of like the dogs who are barking at each other on either side of the fence, and then you lift the gate, and then they just are like, you know, whatever, we're done. You know, they needed that fence. That internet, that comment section is that fence between me and that other dog.
Yeah.
If we just saw each other in person, we'd be like, hey, what's up? Whatever.
Those dogs, it's like 4 dogs barking at one dog, and they're all just that's like how those nasty comment sections get. That's a great analogy. I don't think people really think that's how they could be perceived when they're doing it, right? Like, you don't think, like, have you ever done something and then afterwards you thought to yourself, like, I must have looked like an asshole doing this. Like, if I was like 2 blocks away, I would have been like, fuck, who is that guy? But sometimes you just have the urge, or you're doing stuff and you have to do what you got to do. But I'm one of those people who will think about, like, from a distance, I would not be happy looking at myself do this or being engaged in this. And if I can catch myself early enough, I can talk myself out of doing it. But if, like you said, those endorphins and those emotions and the right thing comes along, anybody is like set off, and now you're like, F you.
Calan, I'm going to ask about your hookup here. Where is the best place? If I want to get an endorphin hit like that, where can I go to?
My favorite, I have two favorite
Your late
flavors.
night spot of choice.
One, which is this is the one everyone, this is the restaurant you bring your family to, which is just the Reddit Houston forum. You're going to get all sorts of flavors, but you also, kind of have some local stuff going on. My more delicate, this is the restaurant, this is the hole in the wall that most people don't know about. But this is going to be the local Galveston. See, I live in Kemah, which is just south of Harris County. So Galveston County has its whole other set of, kind of Facebook groups and such. So the local news Galveston County, there's a delicacy to the rage that comes from some of these places. So that is my recommendation if you're ever are in the area and looking to hate others and hate yourself and go into a nihilistic spiral.
We cut to a dark building on the side of a highway. Inside, a manager speaking to a new hire. All right, Cal, look, these guys are gonna come in today. They've been working out there on the field all night. They just want to come in here, go into these rooms,
right?
Log on those computers and get that aggression out, okay?
Sure.
Make sure they are comfortable coming in here, and any type of question they have, make sure you're here. We want to keep them here. The longer they stay here and get that nihilistic behavioral aggression out, the better. Okay.
Right. Yeah, and I know when you hired me, I said I knew all of the places, where you can really get like down and dirty in the comment sections.
Yeah.
But now that I'm here and the customers are about to start coming in, I got to be honest with you. I have lived most of my life with safe search turned on. Yeah. The biggest internet argument I got into was I kept changing the date on my grandmother's 90th birthday party with my cousin, and he wanted it at 2:45 and I wanted it at 2:43, and we just kind of kept changing it on the family calendar back and forth, and oh boy,
Get the fuck out of here. Wait, so you lied to me?
Yeah, I just, the job market's terrible, and this seems like a real up and coming booming industry, and I thought if I could just kind of snake my way on the ground floor. Do
you know what kind of searches these guys are going to be coming in and doing? Do you know what kind of conversations they're going to be into? You fucking lied to me, dude. You may not even have a stomach to sit through what I just hired you to do.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Look, I'm here. They're about to start piling in. Let me show you. Let me show you that I have what it takes.
I'll give you a couple of tries, but I got to get you out of there. These guys are very finical. All right.
Okay. All right. Okay. Here comes Gus. Sir. Hi, sir. Yes. May I show you to a computer room?
Are you guys even open?
Oh, right. Let me turn on the open sign. Yes, sir. Come on in.
Okay.
Come on in.
All right. I think I know what I'm complaining about first online today.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's
the
that?
Service here. The service here.
Oh. Well, I guess. Sure. If you want to just come this way, and I'll just boot you into the website for this building. Would you like to talk to the property owner? or just go straight to my manager.
Oh wow. Hey, you're really nice. What was your name?
If I tell you, please don't tell my manager I was nice.
Oh, I won't.
Okay.
What was your name?
My name's Cal.
Cal.
Mm-hmm.
Cal, thank you. Your impeccable customer service has really calmed me down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I need to be here anymore. So I'm not going to pay for my 6 hours. I'm just going to leave. But I want to thank you for really making my day. I can go home to my family right now and just feeling pretty good.
I'm sure
really
your family. Tell me about your family. No, I'm sure your family has a lot of problematic relatives who maybe have old-fashioned views.
Oh, don't get me started on my cousins.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about your cousin.
Well, I mean, I want to say mean things, but you're so attentive, and that smile on your face is just
can't help
making me feel at peace. I should just let bygones be good bygones, see things in the past, and just keep moving forward. Cal, thank you so much for.
Excuse me, everybody. Hey, I didn't want to come in and interrupt you guys. I know sure you met my new hire here, Cal. I saw that you were looking to get out of the. Is there something I can help you with? I know you reserved 6 hours in this room.
Yeah. Hey, John. You know me. I'm a regular. 6 hours a night. I'm one of the high rollers who come in and pretty much bankroll this place.
Absolutely, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but this new guy, Cal, he's wonderful. I mean, he's put my soul at ease. And
I'm not. He was gonna give me 1 star, and I was gonna feel really bad about it and probably kill myself. Right? You were just telling me to kill myself, weren't you?
see how funny he is. He's just a wonderful human being.
How about this? How about this, sir? What if I remember that time when your brother he slept with your wife a couple weeks ago? Remember that time? You can come back in here.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to bring it back up again, but I just want you to make sure you are completely out of your system with that situation.
Yeah. I'm sure your brother's a real jerk. Like my brother. Well, he's not a jerk. He's actually there was maybe been some misunderstandings, but we always smooth them over. But your brother,
hey, Cal, you're right that between me and my brother, we have some misunderstandings too. I should just smooth it out. Thank you.
Sorry,
you know
boss.
what? I got to go call my brother and my wife, and I don't know if they're together again, but I got to go figure that situation out.
You can message them on the computer. You can go right in the room, send them a quick message. We'll get everything set up. You don't have to leave, sir. This is your time. Okay?
Okay, I'll do it on the computer, but they're going to be nice messages. They're going to be brief. I'll be here for like 5 minutes, and then I'll pick them out of here. Thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Hey,
you're an angel.
Can I get some service in here? What's going on?
Here, I have this one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How can I help you? Who would you like to hate today?
I had a shit day today. Let me tell you. I don't even know.
I'm so happy you had a shitty day today.
Where I want. What's your name?
Oh, my name's Cal.
You're happy I had a shitty day?
Yeah, isn't that great?
What?
Because that means that now you can come in and I can show you how great I can be at my job, and my boss will see, and I won't get fired. Everything's gonna work out.
Wow.
Don't you believe that everything's gonna work out sometimes?
I've just been working for 12 hours in the field, and not one of those guys have the attitude that you do about what you do, about your job, about your employment. I forgot what it looked like.
Okay, but would you like to come into this room and get on a hot comment section and yell at some hot takes?
I don't know. I feel like that's feeding the negative energy that I've been dealing with in the field, but the aura that's radiating out of your smile, it's like, yeah, what am I doing here? Why did I come into this dark, dank building?
It is dark. It is really dark in here.
Working here, who loves what he does. You know what? I'm going to go back out to that field. I'm going to see if I can find that same joy.
Boss, I'm losing him. Is there anything?
I'm trying to keep the other one in here. What the fuck is going on here? I need you to go over there and kick him in the dick or something, all right? To make sure he doesn't leave. There should be a company called like haters.com where you could I share this with people, and my wife this is like one of the things that we had in common that which was we both were kids back in the day who had access to the internet, who would search and get on rotten.com.
Mhm.
And I was explaining to them what rotten.com was. And there could easily be like a hater.com that's very similar to rotten.com, where you go on the website, you just look at a bunch of just haters all over around the world where they post their pictures or comments, and you're there just for the hate, right? That's what you're getting. And then you just have advertising to the haters. But that's what kind of like reminds me of. And I absolutely feel like there's people that would, I mean, if you watch the QAnon documentary, that's essentially what it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you just described QAnon. Let's advertise specifically to these people with hate in their hearts.
Yes, it is literally the blueprint. Was like I was like, either this dude is the first digital, he's the first like digital cult leader, or this is like a haters are us website, But man, that is true. QAnon did do that. But my point, right? You should get it. Haters.com. Haters.com would rebranded.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Yeah, I would feel better knowing that like I was arguing with someone who consented to be argued with. Because sometimes I will lash, and this just recently happened. I lashed out, talking again about the Houston Reddit board. I lashed out at someone. No, this was just, I think, on a Reddit politics board, who was basically being rude about all the crap that we're having to kind of go through because of our politicians here in Texas. And they were like, well, you get what you vote for. And I responded like, hey, come on, dude. We're like fighting for our lives down here. Not all of us are idiots. And I was like, I don't need your sarcasm isn't helping, or your condescension isn't helping. And then he wrote me back like a private message where he had like donated $5 to a charity in my name. It was like, sorry, I was having a bad day. And so like, that's the kind of like thing I'm like, a good thing came from that, but I feel like aghast that I made this guy feel so bad that he felt like he had to go donate to charity to clear his conscience because I called him a name on Reddit.
That's awesome. See, now that could be a component of it. Haters.com is to engage in the argument and the hating. A portion of you have to pay a fee, and that fee is donated to that organization. So you're paying the price to shit on the thing that you want to shit on, right? So that everybody's hands are covered. But that does sound awesome. And I search on Reddit a lot, man. Reddit is a pretty interesting, company, and just alone. And there's one I always ask myself. I can't imagine the types of support questions they get, because everybody who goes here is somebody who wants to just blast out long, descriptive opinions or complaints. So I can't imagine the type of real complaints Reddit get.
Yeah. I feel like for every complaint, there's 5 death threats that they get.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's, don't get me wrong. I can't think of a reason that's worse than what happens when you do strip away the freedom of speech. But everything in between, man, there's just some weird things that we all do as humans when we have access to something like that. And just kind of like our comments section, for example.
Yeah.
We went a little later last podcast, and somebody named herself Queen of England. Basically kept asking for nigger dick like 5 times. But it was at the end of the podcast. So it wasn't like it bombed anything. It was kind of like an encore, and somebody's just still going, hey, penis, right? And you're like, well, it's the end, dude. You missed the most important part. He bombing the wrap-up part. That's cool with me, But that kind of thing it just happens, right? The show's online. Anybody can come across it. And if they do, it could be a 15-year-old kid eating Skittles talking about nut sauce, right? And he can do that. And, whatever.
I feel like this is a good time to bring up the other post that you you made, John, about
The baby. Oh, not the baby. Yet.
No, not the baby yet. Not the baby yet. I was talking about the offensive, like, what? Oh my goodness, words escaping me. But yeah, anything like out of bounds in comedy, right?
What's out of bounds?
Off limits.
Yeah. I know what I try to teach my students, and I can only my rule of thumb is I can't if I can't simply like share it or like teach it, then I try not to touch it because I'll fuck it up. So what I tell my students is like, I think every comedian has to find the lines where their line is, and that comes from like with your perspective and your connections, your relationships in your life, and how your mind is shaped, through your own experiences. And to me, I think if they're constantly like educating themselves on the subjects that they want to go after that could be offensive, they'll lower the chances that they'll offend somebody because they'll be saying something. They'll be able to determine what's absurd about that thing versus, most of the jokes we've heard have been like passed down, right? Like somebody said them 2-3 generations ago or 5-3 states ago. And, that context is completely different, right? And of course, it doesn't come with any information that you know about it. So it's a joke 20 years ago could be offensive just because of the people who were in power and how they controlled what was, culturally acceptable or not, right? But as far as like offensive and bounds, I think I always share as a comedian, I think you should find that personal line for yourself and you should educate yourself constantly. And if you offend somebody, you should be willing to discover if you're wrong and learn, right? That's the biggest thing. You learn that you're wrong and you learn to change. Cool, right? If you're not willing to change, then yeah, F you, So that's my personal opinion on it. But my question, because everybody has their own, way of looking at it. Some people are a little bit tighter than others, Did I freeze?
No, you're okay. You're okay.
No, your
question, simmer.
Yeah, because I think the way that you worded the post was, what do you consider out of bounds for comedy? Was that how you phrased it?
Yep.
And I think a lot of people saw that question and didn't interpret it as, what do you consider out of bounds? And saw that as in like, what are the comedy police allowed to tell you that is an acceptable joke or not? And I feel like people got offended immediately just at the idea of any joke being out of bounds, which is, of course, ridiculous because there are no comedy police. No one is going to, come,
Joe
snipe
Biden didn't. I thought Donald Trump or Joe Biden, none of them created the federal comedy police.
I mean, give it time, and yeah, it will happen. But yeah, so just the idea that someone was arguing this completely ridiculous thing that obviously the answer is always going to be no. At the end of the day, you can say whatever you want. Everyone agrees on that. Like nobody, there's no like Professor X isn't going to like all of a sudden like stop you and make it so that you can't say these words come out of your mouth. At the worst, people will just go like, I don't like that. That's hacky. That's offensive, whatever. And yeah, it's your job as a comedian to entertain the audience. And if enough of the audience doesn't like what you're saying, it's probably not because it's offensive. It's because it's hacky. And I think that's the only joke that I ever get offended at is a hacky joke.
It's a hacky joke. That's same way. Like same way, dude.
And I think by definition, most what we would consider offensive jokes are hacky jokes because they're lame and they, like you said, they're inherited jokes. They're jokes that like we learned what humor was based on these jokes, and now we're ready to like, what's beyond that? What's better than that?
Yeah. Interesting. Amechi and Antoine, what's your thoughts?
I like one of the comments that someone made in your post. They said the only thing off limits in comedy is being not funny, which I agree with actually. Whatever the joke is, it needs to be graded on whether or not it's funny first and foremost. And then, if it is funny, it could still be offensive, sure, but let's talk about why it's so funny. Like, how can they coexist at the same time? So yeah, my answer is no, not really, but it better be good. And it's sort of what I tell my classes as well. If we get into a discussion about what's off limits in improv, I'm like, well, there are pretty obvious areas. Now, tread lightly if you're looking to go, but I'm not going to tell you can't. I'm going to tell you, if you're going to go there, make sure you are doing it well. Make sure you're confident that you know what you're talking about. Because you can lose the audience.
Just mentioning a word could get them.
I 100% agree with that too. Because it's like, don't come from a place of ignorance with what you're saying. Like, be knowledgeable about what you're talking about. Because I think that's how you offend people too. Is like, and that's how you get hacky, is when it's kind of surface level, or you don't really know the subject, or you don't know the thing you're talking about, so you can't talk about it in a nuanced way or an interesting new way that people haven't heard before. You just heard the kind of stereotypes, or whatever. You don't really know what the subject of your joke deeply or intimately. So
yeah. And the audience picks that up because, like, the audiences should be treated like they are intelligent, right? Like, unless they're drunk as shit, they should be treated like they're intelligent. And the question, one of the things I ask myself this, you kind of mentioned it, Antoine, about being undeniable, is let's say you're doing a joke, and that joke, 90% of the house is floored. But you have a percentage of people in that audience that are offended, right? As a comedian, like I always go like, how would you approach the joke, right? Would you say that one person offended is too many, or would you go with the majority house, right? A 90%. To me, if 50% of the house is laughing, that's a good shot, right? Like,
I personally, I don't think it has anything to do with percentage. It has to do. I ask myself, if I was in, so I imagine the person that would be offended, and I say, if I was in that person's shoes, would I be offended at this? And if it was something that I could hypothetically see myself not enjoying, then I don't want to do it, because I was working in a pitch room, and I was pitching jokes with someone, and this was early on in my career, and I pitched what I thought was a very funny joke, but there were elements of it that like referenced rape, and I kept defending it because it was a really smart joke, and the person that I was pitching it to was like, "Yes, Calan, it's a very, very good rape joke, but it's still a rape joke, and I was raped, and I don't think it was funny." And I was just like, oh shit, yeah, of course. Oh, okay. And that has never like left me. And that's kind of how I feel. And as a comedian, I don't want a single person in that audience to walk away going, oh, that made me feel gross. That made me think of something that I didn't need to have to think about tonight.
Right. That makes sense. That would be like having like a 1-star rating. You would probably want to make sure that person didn't leave with the wrong kind of concept of where you are, right? And even this, like I always say, I take chances. I'm conscious about the chances I take. Some chances I take, I go, I don't know how anybody's going to feel about this, but I will say this: I am always willing to hear somebody share with me how they feel and and discuss it, because it's not too like malicious. Like, I don't come out of comedy from a place of aggression. Like, I'm not here to shock people and piss them off, and that makes me laugh, right? It's just like a gift I'm giving. So in that sense, I can totally see where you're coming from in that.
We cut to Calan coming off stage at a comedy show. Hey, Calan.
Hey, how's it going? What's up, Antoine?
that was a great set, man. First, the crowd looked like they were loving it. I heard a lot of great laughs.
Yeah, it felt good.
I do have to ask you about something.
That's me.
Yeah, that's they love you, man. The thing is, you did like 15 minutes of bald jokes, and you're not bald, and the majority of the audience isn't bald. But I feel like that was just a really weird thing to just like hang on. And Amechi, he works in the kitchen. You heard a lot of that,
right?
And,
right.
I mean, he's
I'm not bald,
right? Exactly. You're not bald, but Amechi, who works in the kitchen, is. And I think you should go and probably apologize to him.
Oh, because he was working in the kitchen and he didn't hear my funny bald joke.
Oh no, he heard it all. He heard it all. It was 15 straight minutes of bald, which again, kind of. I just work the club. I'm not really a comedian myself. I think it's weird for a guy with hair to do 15 minutes of bald jokes, but that's just me. Anyway, I was just saying, go talk to Amechi. Just make sure that nothing is misinterpreted. We like him a lot here. He's worked here for years.
Okay, I sure. I'll go make sure Amechi is okay with my bald jokes. All right.
Thank you.
Hey, Amechi. Hey, chicken fingers were great tonight. What's up? Are you crying?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm very upset right now.
Did someone die?
No, I heard your set.
Oh, you heard my set? Did you hear them change my name after?
I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
Oh, you didn't like it?
No, you made like 15 straight minutes of bald jokes. I timed it 15 minutes and 22 seconds.
That's about right. Yeah, because it's my bald. I call it in my notebook. I write down, in chunks, in 15-minute chunks, and I call that my bald asshole chunk. And that's about right. 15 minutes. The audience loved it, and most of them aren't bald.
Right, so, and I am. So I have every right to be offended by this, and I called the FCP, the Federal Comedy Police.
Shit. What? Look, man, I got a fucking warrant.
Oh shit! Hey, oh my
what?
Goodness, dude! There's some fucking dudes out there with chickens in their pocket, badges.
Have they crossed the road yet?
Yes, dude.
Crap.
Get the fuck out of here!
They're
gonna kick your ass. Get out of here, dude.
Okay.
I'll open for you. You got to get out of here. I don't want to lose another spot.
But the audience, they're calling for an encore. I gotta get back up there.
They're going to arrest your ass. Get out of here, man.
Look, I don't have any way of understanding why you could have done this to me, Amechi.
So Calan runs out the back door, down the alley, splashing in puddles on the way. Here's these funny sirens that are going in.
It's really funny.
he ducks into like an open door into a building, and it seems to be no one really around. He sees like a couple of people sitting at tables, and then there's just a microphone on the stage all by itself.
Oh, don't mind if I see there's a couple of bald assholes in the audience tonight. How do you tell when the sun's set? Because you're so bald.
This is it, boys. Get him.
Oh, crap, I couldn't resist. My own petard.
We set this up to catch you. All of this is fake. That guy's
Wait a minute.
That guy, the federal comedy cop. That guy, the federal comedy cop.
Wait, is that guy even bald? This is entrapment. He's got hair. He's got hair.
And scene.
That's exactly what would happen if we had comedy police. They would send decoy audience members to arrest people as soon as they got off stage, and it would be the death of comedy. That's hilarious. Running from the comedy police through an alley. Hilarious.
Yeah, we're not there yet, but that's the future liberals want, right, guys?
Yeah.
But
That's
okay,
crazy.
all right, John. Now, if you'd like to introduce the baby controversy.
Okay, all right. So the baby, actually a rapper. Let me get his actual stuff information up. So just to give you guys some preference, and we're not going to dive in too deep into the story, but there's a couple of questions I wanted to ask the group and the audience to talk about Mr. The Baby. And so first, the baby, the rapper, apparently had some comments where he was trying to get the audience hype, and in the process of him doing that, he would use weird quotes like, "If you know all the ladies in here, if your vagina smell like water, put your hands in the air and say ah," whatever. You know. Then he said a statement about some gay men, as Amechi clarified to me earlier, that was actually offensive. And he basically told them that if they were doing gay activities in the parking lot and in his concert, that they should leave. But he said it in a way to get the crowd hype. Now,
What does
of
that
course,
mean? What does that?
Well,
I
yeah.
don't understand you keep adding on that clarifier, but I don't know what that means.
Guys,
I mean,
it's
not as a
fine.
clarifier,
He was
as a-
just
no.
doing it to
No,
get
no,
him
no.
hype.
I mean that as like picture this in your head, right? When a rapper is speaking in between a song. And
No, I see what you mean, because there's a big difference between just saying all the gay people get out of my concert and then
Yeah.
saying it like all the gay people get out of my concert, right? Y'all love me.
Oh, I see. Once
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
explain the tone difference.
right. But nonetheless, if anyone's been to a concert and picture in your head, I'm trying to give you the visual of a rapper in between a song doing a number where he's trying to get his audience to be hyped up. And in the process, you know, in the old days, they would say, everybody put your hands in the air, right?
Yep.
Right? Nothing offensive about that unless you don't have arms. Or that's what people would say. In this, the baby used the put your arms up in the air as a way to describe his views on sexuality. Is essentially what I'm saying. Now, because he did that, he had lost millions. And I want to say, like, I've heard upwards of 10, some say 7. Let's just say he lost millions, right? Millions of dollars of festival fees that booked him, the biggest festivals we know, coming back from COVID. He's one of the hottest guys out.
Now, can I ask real quick, because I'm not familiar with the baby's music. But were people surprised by this? Like, does this come out of left field, or does some of this like exist in his lyrics?
Well, someone threw a shoe at him, so I think people are surprised.
Okay.
Or was that a reference to one of his hit singles, "Throw the Shoe at Me"?
Yeah, throw the shoe at me.
So I'm not gonna play long, but this is one of his songs. So I'm sure you've heard this song. They played it for like 6 months every day. And Roddy Ricch is on it. He's the guy that's talking right now. But to answer your question,
Contessa says his music is trash.
to answer your question, yes, man. It'd be like saying it was kind of like when Tracy Morgan got the camera was at the concert and he was his stand-up and he got caught saying some crazy stuff about gay men if his son was gay, right? Like when I heard that, I wasn't surprised. He's done material like that since forever, right? But that doesn't mean that it still shouldn't be ruled out. So to finish the story, all the biggest festivals dropping him out, right? And let me see. And Tessa was posted something. I was going to see if it was relevant to the thing. Nonetheless, so as most guys like him, I'm sure his advisors told him, hey, you're losing some money. You need to say something. Fans are upset. Media's upset. So he issued an apology on Instagram. And then I want to say he doubled down on it and said some more comments about HIV and AIDS at another concert, right?
I do love when a celebrity is clearly forced to apologize by like a publicist and then just immediately like takes it back the next chance they get. Like
takes it back?
Like, yeah. Or doesn't take it back, but just
They
proves
just continue doing the same thing. that
Yeah.
they're apologizing for.
So Graz, you brought that up. So what I thought was hilarious about this, because obviously there's nothing funny about humiliating or pointing out or discriminated against anybody. However,
Unless
the thing
it's
I
funny.
thought that was, and well, yeah, I don't know.
No, go ahead.
I don't know, right? I don't know. Nonetheless, what I thought was funny was the fact that he had issued an apology and he had took it back, right? And I had seen people do this before, and I've seen people issue apologies that I've thought to myself, bullshit, right? So I wanted to have the conversation about what do we think about celebrities or these millionaires that everybody loves, right? Some of these people are priests, like I've seen Joel Osteen riding around in like a diamond Ferrari, right? And people will say stuff to him, he apologizes, right? But I wanted to ask you, what do you guys think about these types of situations, man? Do you think they're straight money chase? Everybody who has some kind of financial connection to them is trying to save face purely for profit? Or do you feel like it's just a young guy who's I think he's from Carolina. I know his dad passed away. He's had extreme fame and he was just drunk, high, whatever, and had a bad case of, I don't know, ego, right? And it's changeable, right? So kind of want to hear everyone's thoughts on this because he just so happens to be the GOAT on the hill right now.
The goat on the hill.
I think in today's society, there's just so many people that are trying to just be celebrities, just be this thing that is worshipped, that there's just no patience for someone who's not perfect, because we can just cut off the baby and then hope that the next guy is just as talented and then also isn't problematic. And we can do that because there's just so many people that are trying to do that. And I think in a way that maybe we would have had more patience with that in the past, it's just like, yeah, we don't need you, Louis C.K. We'll get another auteur to come in and he'll be just as good and won't tell girls to suck his dick, and I think that's great. I think that's exciting. I love that we are at that part of culture where there's so many like options for entertainment out there that we don't have to settle for entertainers that like make us go, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, because here's where it gets sticky about him, and I'm gonna let you say something, Antoine. I'm a huge fan of like art history. Always done art my whole life, and I'm lucky enough to have the internet, so I could look up even some of America's most adored artists that have horrible, horrible histories that because they didn't have the access of the publicists or as many people being able to have access to their life could really be like, this person is a complete asshole, right? And we are basically financing their lifestyle to continue to do this thing, right? And I don't have to go drag any artist down because I'm trying to be, what's his face? But nonetheless, Antoine, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I've been maybe when I first heard about this, when I started thinking about Eminem back in the day. Now Eminem says some horrible stuff about gay people, about a lot of people actually, right?
Including himself,
including
his
himself,
mother, and his mother.
Like laundry list, right? However, he doubled down on his views and he worked it into his music in a weird way that's, in my opinion, somehow allowed him to redeem himself. Later on, he like did a live show with Elton John and everybody loves that. Like somehow he took these views, took the responses, turned that into his art, and then allowed people to make what they will of it.
Eminem also he developed a character, right? So opens up a different question, right? Slim Shady was a character, and the character itself was horrible, right? I remember he would do MTV concerts, he would show up with a butcher's mask and all these different things. He was that Marilyn Manson of hip hop, right? And going another question, is there an actual lane, since there is so much diversity in entertainment, where Marilyn Manson and Eminem will always pop up in some kind of culture similar to ours?
Tyler, the Creator.
Tyler the Creator, Little Uzi Vert with a diamond in his head. He's trying to buy a planet. Like, should we look at these artists as specific niches, and that people that like their niche or the people that communicate to them can have them free access, but they don't got to participate in the mass, more diverse pools of people, like once you start getting into pop and stuff. But to your point, Eminem, Tyler the Creator, those people, those are clearly characters. And the stuff they said was very crazy, right? South Park crazy. But today things are different, and Eminem still gets a pass, right?
I think there was a very clear like cutoff point, maybe like 5 years ago, and I feel like a lot of artists just got grandfathered in, and it's just like, okay, everything you did up until this point, you have amnesty over. Do not fuck up from this point on. Twitter is watching, okay? From this day forward, mind your P's and Q's. We don't care that you talked about like murdering your mom. You know, that was when, you know, that was cool. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, honestly, I think that's fair, because those weren't the rules back then.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird to change the rules and then apply it to 1,000 years of history, because the rules are going to be different in 10 years. They're going to be different in 20 years and 30 years.
But
things we're doing now,
like people still came after Eminem back then.
Yeah, but you know, I feel it's kind of weird to just let's just look through history and find all the monsters and you know, destroy them all now. Like, why?
Yeah,
I think there's the really clear demarcation point is Twitter. Twitter did not exist before, and I mean, Twitter won't be around forever. But you know, maybe even before Twitter, it was Tumblr. But basically, any point where people can gather on the internet and the prevailing energy is not masculine. You know, once that happened, I think suddenly there was just this ability to start criticizing in a way that there wasn't. And yeah, I think that now that has happened, that toothpaste cannot be put back in the tube. And you're right that very literally the rules changed when the internet allowed disenfranchised people to kind of talk to each other and go, hey, this isn't cool, is it? And yeah, I don't see us ever going back to that way unless there's like a huge cultural upheaval.
We cut to an office break room. Hey guys, it's me, Amechi. I just want to say, you know, I'm back after yesterday, where I had the mask and I was chasing everybody around with a knife.
Mm-hmm.
But don't worry, that was a character I was playing. That's not me. So I don't need to get into any trouble for that. So if you guys could just not, you know, tell HR and stuff, that'd be cool.
Amechi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
dude, I pissed on myself yesterday, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that was
I told you when I was 5,
mm-hmm.
this dude busted my house with a butcher mask, and he attacked my dog, me and my mom, man. I told you that before you started running at me, dude.
That was the inspiration for my character yesterday. So
not cool.
Not cool, man.
Yeah,
not
Carol quit. She's not coming back.
Oh, I like Carol. She was so nice.
Yeah. Did you know what happened to her mom?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna okay. You're not gonna say okay. No.
Let's hold on. It's not cool, man. I don't know why you think it would be okay to show up to work in characters.
I know it wasn't cool, but the character thought it was cool, so the character did it. It wasn't me. I had nothing to do with it. I don't know why you mad at me, honestly. It was the character.
I haven't been able to sleep since it happened.
Yeah.
Since yesterday?
Since yesterday. That was like 18 hours ago. I usually get 10 hours of sleep a night.
You know, and he takes a nap here at the job.
Take a nap here at the job. My doctor says I need to, or else my heart could give out. And he also said try not to get too excited. I almost died yesterday, Amechi. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, some people found it funny.
I didn't think it was funny.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was funny either.
Anybody in this room find it funny?
I did. I found it funny.
You know what?
laughed-
You know
laughed
what
at
really
it?
pissed me off is you get to do a character, but I'm not allowed to do my famous character.
Hold up. Hey, you're still on parole, Calan.
I know. That's what I'm
Take it
saying.
easy. You had a
I do
nice-
my character. I get charged with a hate crime. You do your character, and we're just supposed to be okay with it. No, that's double standard.
It's not really.
Yeah, he has a point though. He does kind of have a point.
What? My character's a killer butcher. Like Calan's character is completely different.
Well, how is it different, Amechi? What's so different about Calan's character?
What's so different about my character?
Well, Calan, why don't you show us and we'll decide if it's as a group. We'll decide in person if it's offensive or
I've been
not.
waiting for this all day.
No.
Wait, no, you guys are trying to entrap me. No. No way.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean? Yeah, I'm just holding my phone up. It's
Hey, wait a minute. You're not my coworkers. You're not bald either, are you? Take off that.
freeze.
I tried to leave that life behind, but comedy always stays with you.
You can't. You'll never give up a chance to pull out that old bullshit character, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Sure,
Right.
you've arrested me, but have you arrested Seamus O'Houlihan, cop on the block? I've come
It's his
to arrest.
character. Oh, we can't do anything about it now.
Man.
He has a character.
Well,
You got away again.
officer, I'll just be on my way. Hoity-toity-toity.
And scene. What was his name? What was the character's name?
Seamus O'Houlihan. Mm-hmm.
I love how the comedy police can't arrest you in character.
That's right.
That's the rule.
You gotta stay in character. Somebody should make that film. That would be a hilarious film.
Right. Yeah, he has to always stay in character. Mhm.
Or else he gets arrested.
Kind of do it like Brewster's Millions. Comedy police arrest him off stage, take him like to this like underground thing and tell him death or stay in character for life. Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Oh man! All right. Hey, we're approaching the end. Oh, actually, I do want to do this. I want to go to the chat.
Mm-hmm.
First off, shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you for stopping by, Miranda, Contessa, Tandi.
Tandi.
Now that's a chat room that I do not want to argue with.
Yeah,
Shauna too. I saw Shauna's.
I would say the general consensus of the chat is the baby is shitty.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Without a doubt, dude. There's no reason for him to.
But chat, do you have any questions for Calan? Actually,
Yeah.
our special guest of the evening.
Also, did you guys enjoy Calan on the show? Because I know I did. My cheeks are hurting.
Yeah, let's
Face
judge
cheeks,
him
by
right
the
to his
way.
face. Face cheeks.
This was a blast. This was great.
Yeah.
I have no idea why anyone in the chat room would have a question for me. But thank you for asking.
But if not, yeah, we can go ahead and go on out of here, man. Is there anything you'd like to plug, shout out?
Yes,
mention?
I would like to plug everybody's arm with a COVID shot. Go get a COVID shot, you dingleberries. That's it.
Someone says they're your cuz in the chat. Your
What's up, cuz?
D. But yeah, John, if you can get those tunes spun up,
Got a good
go
one
ahead
going.
and get on out of here. For John, for Michi, for myself, Antoine, it's Cant Tell Us Nothing show. For Calan, thank you so much for joining us. It was a lot of fun. For Tandi, hope you drive safe. Hope you're enjoying your travels. Everybody else, have a good night. See you next Tuesday.
Now you wonder what you say.